Hey guys, what's going on? Darrell Addison at Torpedopot.com. Darrell Addison at Torpedopot.com. You're coming at a great time. Our planters are watering right now. They're fully automated. They water by themselves. And so we've had about, I would say about eight kale plants in this planter right here. They've been growing, producing kale. We've eaten off that kale. I've enjoyed it. And now what I did is that I planted a huge amount of pea pods because I start to cut down my kale and to eat my kale during the spring season. I didn't cut it down to the root because now they're growing back. Okay, so my kales are still growing back, but I didn't want it to compete with the most important crop, and that is the peas. So when I cut my kale out, I have my peas that I can now harvest. Now there are many different ways you can harvest these peas. We've used them as microgreens. So as you can see here, you've got over 100 pea plants in one planter. Okay. And the reason why I'm growing these peas is for microgreens. I want to be able to eat peas. I love eating peas. They're delicious. So what I normally come in is I cut them all down and harvest them when I want to. At some point, the peas are going to get very tough as they start to get older. And so you want them to go to pod so they can produce pod. We produce over 70 pods from this one planter itself, the 16-inch planter, 70 pods from a 16-inch planter. And they did extremely well. So when I'm harvesting my peas, I'm not being discreet about it. Again, these are microgreens. They're designed to produce a lot of delicious food. So I'm not coming in and cutting one down. Isn't that beautiful? You can see in the multiple ways that is the leaders that are coming off that plant. I mean, you can literally see the multiple ways in which that pea plant is growing, how it's going to grow out. So this is delicious. Very good. All natural, grown in a biotic environment. No chemicals, no fertilizers. I don't even have to use any natural organic fertilizers with this at all. Grows naturally. Food grows naturally. Stop trying to help food grow and learn to allow it to grow. So, I've already harvested greens. So what I'm going to do now is start harvesting some peas. Not anything special. So I'm going to go in, cut it off, and I'm going to use it in the mill. I got 10 planters that are growing about 100 pea pods in each planter. And so I can sacrifice these to achieve my goals. Now, this is just for a breakfast so that I'm going to have, I've already got kale that I've cut down. I've already picked up some chives that I've cut down. And now I've got the peas that I'm cutting down. And trust me, I'm going to have a really, really delicious meal. My garden is growing so fast now that I can't get in front of it to eat the food that it's producing from me. Now, do I want to eat the whole plant? No way at all. I'm only going to cut down key portions of the plant so it can continuously grow for me over and over and over again. This is not like a tomato plant. Our tomato plants will grow 10 months out of the year in my region. It will grow. Food grows. Its life cycle is sometimes so different from what you expect because you've never grown it in an environment that can sustain it. So therefore plants die early because the environment that you're putting them in is not healthy for the plant. It doesn't help it produce. It's not a bountiful, it's not an environment that helps it produce a bountiful crop. But with Torpedopot, your plants live their full life expectancy. They produce things that you've never seen before. And this is what happens in a Torpedopot. So I'm gonna go in, tell you the truth, I can just eat this all right here and I am done. I don't have to cook anything. I normally don't cook peas down because they're a very light plant. But the flavor that you get out of that pea is tremendous. So I'll take it in the morning time, put it with my eggs, mix it with my quinoa or maybe some rice, and just cook it right into it. And it's just so delicious. The flavor and everything that comes out of it is like nothing you've ever tasted before. Torpedopot is an amazing wonder. And one last thing, even though we're talking about peas, I'm looking over here and I'm seeing this this plant that's growing. I want to just show you this. I'm gonna turn around just for a little bit here. So I want you to see how bountiful these plants are doing. As you can see, I've already started cutting parts of the plant down. But I want you to see this stalk because this stalk is amazing. Now, I'm not going to go in and cut down the whole plant, all right? I do not want that at all because I want it to continually produce food for me, okay? I don't want to cut it down and all of a sudden I'm done and say, oh, my whole season's over. No way, dude. But I will cut it down to a point where that now it can grow more. So I'm going to cut this down because I want you to see this. Isn't that beautiful? That is beautiful. Now, I want you to put it next to my face to show you exactly how big this plant is. But I want you to see also, look at that stalk. That's amazing. Isn't that amazing? Look at the color, the health of that stalk. This is the food that I want you to eat. This is not the food you find in the supermarket. Food you find in the food market is fast food vegetables. You don't want that. You want nutritious food that has nutrition built into it, that's living and it's alive, so it can really produce what your body needs to succeed. Now, I know a lot of you are eating, you're going to your store, you're buying your vitamins and things like that, but getting it naturally is nothing like it in the world. You can supplement your vitamins, and I certainly do recommend that for those and the doctors who recommend that for you. Sure, I have no problem with that at all. But synthetic is nothing more as eating something natural as opposed to eating something synthetic. You really need to have a natural existence, food existence, as part of your diet, as opposed to going to the store and buying your vitamins and supplementing it. The bioactivity in this plant is very healthy for you, and it will get you to where you need to be at. I love this. I'm going to cut this down. I'm going to have it with my breakfast. Peas might not even make it to the table because I'm so hungry now. I think I'll just eat the peas by themselves. Torpedopot grows your food for you with no human intervention. Let it do its job, and this is the type of results you're going to get. I've got about 8 plants in this one planter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8. And I cut a couple of them down to the root, not to the root, but to the base. And I want you to see the health that's in that plant. So, with that in there, this is just one that's growing all by itself with no human intervention. Darryl Addison at torpedopot.com. Darryl Addison at torpedopot.com. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.